We ordered so many chars, I don't even know where to begin.
Some of them were waiting for yakiniku, others were in line for shaokao, Chinese barbecue next door at Lu Chuan. We ate at this barbecue restaurant in Suzhou just a few days ago actually. More about that in a later video. And here's that later video. Shaokao is the Chinese term for barbecue, but note that we're talking about grilling or roasting with open and direct fire, not the low and slow style of American barbecue. The term Lu Chuan in the restaurant name is a verb meaning to eat shaokao. More about that in the description section. Lu Chuan is a Shanghainese brand with branches across the surrounding Jiangnan region, and it embodies Shanghai's encompassing and multicultural qualities, featuring signature items from different Chinese regional shaokao styles. But we went with a different route and opted for a set menu, which included a bunch of shaokao and non-shaokao items that came fast and furious.
We ordered so many chars, I don't even know where to begin.
The dishes included everything from char barbecue skewers to chips and more. They just piled on, and so we gluttonously carried on.
哦，好大一杯，谢谢。1 liter.
Started with the craft wheat beer, but the big mug of lager was better suited to the big mug of skewers, which began with 炸鸡皮, deep fried chicken skin skewers, along with
怀旧小肉串 old school mini skewer.
These were deep fried before roasting, an old school method to save time. Some street stands still use this technique.
Shrimp.
Xia in shaokao eateries usually denotes the bigger prawns. They're threaded and roasted with shell, head, and everything. So these shellless and headless little morsels are, as Paul Hogan famously said, shrimp on the bar.
昭通牛肉串 beef skewer 昭通 style of Yunnan province.
For these skewers, normal beef cattle are used nowadays, but back in the poorer past, the folks of Jiaotong had to butcher oxen retired from farming. However, such rugged animals had tough muscles, so the meat would be cut into thin strips for grilling. Hence, new rows at chuan, mini beef skewers. Another advantage of the small size is easy marination. There are different marinade recipes but could include soy sauce and various herbs. The skewers would take a brief swim in a concoction before grilling, plus a sprinkle of chili pepper after grilling. This is also a distinguishing element of Jiaotong mini skewers.
腊肠 Chinese sausage. A bit chewy.
Just like the shrimp before, the sausages were smaller than usual, but no less tasty. They were lean and sweet, most certainly the Cantonese variety. There were larger steaks, like these barely passable beef skewers. They're supposed to be signatures. These 薄荷鸡翅 chicken wings with mint were cool, and not only in a minty way. I love wings and skin's the best part, especially the triangular flaps. So skinny chicken wing is a sin in my book, and skinny chicken wings won't get me stoked. But these were exceptions. The wafer-thin skin was crackling. As written on the wall, 肉是济世良方, meat is a great remedy. Oh yes, I concur. As I said in the last video, meat always trumps veggie. But now I must swallow my own words.
And surprisingly, the best skewer of the evening is probably one of the cheapest on the menu, gluten.
Due to its high protein and meat-like quality, mianjin wheat gluten often replaces tofu as a meat substitute. And today, the substitute outplayed the starters.
Chewy and flavorful.
Wheat gluten has been consumed by the Chinese for eons. Some say it was invented during the Yuan dynasty, or even 1,000 years before that during the Han dynasty. Timing aside, most stories share one element in common. That is, mianjin originated here in the Jiangnan region. There are plenty of wheat gluten dishes locally, such as 肉酿面筋 meatball stuffed gluten, stir fries with a sponge-like leavened gluten 烤麸, and fried gluten is an ingredient for mala hot pot, which isn't the case back in Chongqing or Sichuan, where mala hot pot was born. Speaking of hot pot, this 鲜辣烧鸭血, fresh and spicy braised duck blood, tasted like the aforesaid mala火锅, the numb and spicy aka mala hot pot, but without the greasiness from the tallow utilized in the soup base of authentic mala hot pots. Another fantastic non-shaokao dish was 上药片, Chinese yam chips. This tuber is unique in that it can be eaten raw. I think the chips were fried on demand at the minimum doneness, so they maintained some powdery texture of the raw ingredients and had an airy kind of crispiness, as in they would crack and then vanish into thin air in your mouth. And more delightful veggies, 双蛋烤茄子, the eggy 2-egg grilled eggplant. The eggs made the mushy eggplants more scoopable, and while the handful of peanuts might seem irrelevant, they enhanced the texture by a mile. This was an innovative iteration of a typical shaokao dish. Grilled abalone with garlic was also typical, but nothing innovative this time. And the potato slices had potentials, especially the enticing mala seasoning, but it lacked salt and so we tasted neither numbness nor spiciness. Also as written on the wall, 春话秋月何时了，不如大肆撸烧烤. The seasons roll on, might as well just get our groove on. I must say I mostly agree with this adaptation of a poem by Li Yu of Southern Tang. And in the next video, we will once again get our grill on. But instead of these little skewers, it will be a leg of lamb in Hohhot, Inner Mongolia. 再见!